In this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to make 3 competition winning paper airplanes, but first, I have to announce to you this year's Foldable Flight Paper Airplane Designers Contest, which is going to be bigger and better than ever. What you see on screen is the trophy for the grand prize winners of this year's contest. And there won't be just one grand prize winner, there will be 3, all who will receive customized trophies featuring their name and illustrations of their winning designs on the trophy base. And I'll be featuring their paper airplanes on my channel, complete with illustrated templates specific to their plane. So if you're a paper airplane designer who would like to enter this contest, be sure to head over to foldableflight.com/contest, where you can read all of the rules for entry and begin submitting your design. And with that, let's get into the video. Now, as I mentioned, I'm going to be teaching you how to make each of the grand prize winners of last year's contest. We have Kittyhawk designed by Will Barron, Anaconda by Ethan Wong, and F-11d Blackwing designed by Evan Brus. And they're all amazing planes. They look wonderful as they are, but as I do, I have designed templates for them. And as you can see, these black and gold templates really just give them that champion feel, make them feel like the grand prize winners that they are. And these are all available to my patrons on patreon.com/foldableflight. So if you're interested in folding planes that look like this rather than using a regular sheet of paper, head over there where you can download them and print them off. And with that, let's see these planes in flight, and then I'll teach you how to fold them. All you'll need in order to fold this plane is a square sheet of paper. You'll want to begin with the colored side up, and we're going to fold the right edge to the left edge. Now open your paper up so that the other side of the paper is face up, so you should have a mountain crease, and fold into the center. Leave a little gap here as you fold these triangles because we're going to be folding again, and you definitely want to be able to close this up nicely later, and that gap is going to help. So once I do one side, I'm just making sure the other side is a match. And your plane should look like that. And now we'll fold this edge into the center. Helps to trap that layer as you do so. Again, just leave a little gap here. And we'll do the other side. Okay, we are now going to fold this top point here down to this point right there. I like to roll the paper since the layers are kind of thick. And now I can place my crease, just like so. And I'll open that up. And now I'm actually going to close the model, folding along our existing center crease. And I want you to locate this crease here. And we're going to fold from where that crease intersects this top diagonal edge right there to this corner down here. So I'm just holding the paper there, swinging it open. Just like so. And having done one side, I will flip the paper over and do the same thing on the other side. Now I can just kind of book match this. And your plane should look like this. I'm now going to take this edge here and I'm folding it Basically, I want to look at this corner, and I'm swinging it so that I'm landing this corner right along this edge, and this corner right along that edge. And then creasing all the way across. And then I can flip my plane over and fold this side to match. And now I'm rotating it into this position here, so here's my folded edge, and I want to fold this edge here to that edge. And I'll flip it over, do the same thing on this side. Okay, and now I'm going to open this up, and basically what I want to do is, you can see we have this series of creases here. I'm going to reach into this pocket, and this here is a valley fold, that's a mountain fold, that's actually exactly what we want. But this spine I'm going to press on and flatten the model just using the existing creases. Just like so, and then I can reverse this crease here by folding this back up. I didn't make any new creases in that step. So here you can watch on the other side as well. I'm opening this up all the way out into that position, and I'm reaching into this pocket here and just pushing on this spine that is this edge here, and squash folding along the existing creases. And now that I've squash folded, I can reverse this crease right there, folding this back up. No new creases in that entire sequence of steps. Okay, and now we're going to look at the nose of the plane. I basically want to fold right along this edge, just kind of pulling this into position, and I'm not even creasing very hard. I'm just making a reference so that now this step's a little tricky, but when I open it up, you can see I have these reference creases. I'm going to reverse this section of my center crease, and I want to fold right along those creases, and they need to catch. Let me unfold for a second. The new creases are going to need to catch right at this point right there. So I'm just kind of flipping this inside out like so, reversing the crease there, and then with the plane in this position, I can line this edge up right with the edge of the plane and crease right to the nose, just like so. So you've got this inside reverse fold on the front of the plane. You can see that's going to be our fuselage. Okay, so now looking at it from the bottom, I want to actually open this and pull it forward. So you can see you can squash this in two ways. You could squash it from behind, but that's not what we want. We want to open up the front pocket and pull it forward. And it helps if you do hold this closed and pull forward as you do this. And once you've got it close, you can flip the plane over, again holding this nose closed. Now land that on your center crease, and you can flatten these outer edges just like so, and make sure your crease goes all the way nicely into the center. And now, with the paper in this position, you're going to pull this whole point down, making a crease from that corner to that corner. Okay, and I'm going to now fold my wings up, fold this up as well, and I guess if you're using really sensitive paper like this, it might tear, so be careful as you do that. And I'm going to now fold this down, and I want to land this edge here right along this edge. Do the same thing on the other side. just like that. And now you can see we've got these two tabs which we can tuck into either side of the plane, just like so. And you'll see we now have what is essentially our finished model, and all we have to do is set the angles of the fins and the wings. So it's all locked together in the front. We have this nice part to hold. We're just now folding this fin like so it'll stand vertically. This fin like that. And look at it from the front, make sure your fins are standing vertically. It's good to have the center section of the wings to have a slight dihedral. That means they're angling up in kind of a Y shape. And then the outer edge of the wings to angle down slightly and have anhedral angle. And so it should look something like this. And with that, you're finished. Good luck flying your plane. In order to fold this plane, you're going to need either an 8.5 by 11 or A4 sheet of paper. You're going to want a ruler and a pin. We'll set these aside for now, and we're just going to begin by folding this right edge to the left edge. And once you've done that, you can go ahead and open your paper up and fold your top edge to the bottom edge. Now we'll go ahead and open the paper back up. I'm going to rotate it into this orientation, and it's time to break out that ruler. So if you're folding from 8.5 by 11, you're going to measure 1 inch off this center line. If you are folding from A4, your measurement is 2.5 centimeters, and you're just going to go ahead and mark with your pin right at that line, or at your measurement rather. And now that we've done that, we can flip the paper over. And I'm going to fold this top edge down, and I want the crease I make to go right through that line I just made. So I'm looking over here at this mark. I'm just rolling the paper into position, and I'm making a little pinch crease right on the mark, and then lining my center crease up with my center crease on the bottom layer, and creasing all the way across. And now that I have done that, I'm going to open the paper up, and I want to fold the top edge basically to this crease I just made. I'm going to leave about 1 millimeter there. Just a tiny gap between my top edge and that crease. And I'll go ahead and unfold. And we're ready now to kind of just pull this bottom crease up like so, and fold this down like that. And we'll go ahead and flip the paper over, and we're going to now fold this top edge into the center. Like so. Do the same thing on the other side. And your plane should look like this. And we're actually going to go ahead and open up either side, flip the paper back over, and unfold this section that's going to be our windscreen. And now you can see we've got this little kind of pocket, this rib, and we have these creases. And basically what I want to do is I want to look for the point where this diagonal crease is intersecting the top edge of this band. And I'm going to be folding from that point right there to this point here at the center crease at the bottom of this kind of pocket or rib. So it's like that point right there, but on this top layer. So I'm just folding from that point to that point, and it's kind of awkward because the layers aren't going to lie flat. You just kind of have to pull it like so to make that crease. And then once you do one side, you're going to do the same exact thing on the other side. So now we have those two creases, and you'll see if we kind of folded the plane in half, that's going to swing backwards as we do so. And what we want to do is we're going to kind of try to trap this inside that elbow as it closes. So you can kind of do what I'm doing here and bend the elbow swing this inside all the way down until it meets this, and then close your whole model up. Just like that. Okay, and with the paper in this orientation, I'm now going to fold this edge here to that diagonal crease. Flip the paper over and do the same exact step on this side, folding this edge to that crease. Open both of these layers up. And now I'm going to fold this edge here to this outer diagonal crease. And I'm actually going to open that up and now fold this top edge to that crease as well. And this layer I will leave folded in this position. As we now flip it over and repeat those steps, so top edge to this crease here. And then top edge to that crease there. And now we have the tab, so if we kind of close it up on that crease, this tab here is going to tuck inside this pocket. And so I like to kind of even curl this a little bit in preparation. And I'm then just swinging this in and tucking that in behind and trying to get everything to lie nice and flat. Just like so, and then I can flip it over, do the same thing over here. So I'm going to be swinging that closed and tucking this in, so I'm curling this outer flap and just swinging it closed like that. And now you can see your plane is locked in this three-dimensional shape. We're just going to be folding from the nose of the plane right through this elbow there, right through that top portion. So let's do one wing, and it's going to define the wing angle for you, just folding between those 2 points. And it'll fold something just like that. And now I'm going to unfold that side and fold the other side as well. And as I do this, I want to pay close attention. Again, I'm folding right through the nose, but I want to make sure that this wing crease is lining up with the other wing crease. And we do this because if you fold both wings at the same time, it can tear that central lock right there. So I'm unfolding the first and doing the second, and now we have a finished plane. And I sometimes go just like that and try to get the wings to curve in the same direction. And you might find that you need the tiniest bit of up elevator with this plane, but it's not going to be a lot. Definitely not going to be a lot. So you might just bend the back edges up just ever so slightly, but you can, of course, test before you make any modifications at all. And with that, you have a finished Kittyhawk designed by Will Barron. I hope you have a lot of fun flying this plane. All you will need in order to fold Anaconda is a square sheet of paper, and you can see I'm using one that's about 8 by 8 inches, but you could go smaller than this, and you could certainly go much larger than this as well. It is a 2-color design, so you can see here, the side you start with face up is going to be this section of the plane, and the face down side is going to be the front and the tail of the plane. Of course, if you're using paper that's the same color on both sides, it does not matter. And if you're using the template, just follow the instructions on the template. And with all of that out of the way, we're actually going to begin by folding in half from this point to this point so that our crease goes from point to point. Once you've done that, go ahead and open your paper up. And now fold this edge here to the center. And if you're faster than me, you'll be doing the same thing on the other side as well. If you're slower than me, you're still doing the same thing on the other side. But you get to watch me do it as you do it. I'm going to go ahead and rotate the paper into this position, flip it over, and now fold this top point down as far as it will go, which means you'll be making a crease that goes from that point to that point. And now we can go ahead and flip the paper back over, open both of these sides up, and I'm now going to fold this top edge here into the center crease. Do the same thing on this side. And your plane should now look like this. We'll now go ahead and flip the paper over again. And I'm going to fold this point here up to the top edge, or top point of the plane. And now I'm going to fold this edge here into the center. And I'll do the same thing on this side. And your plane should look like this. We'll now go ahead and open the paper up. And I'm actually going to back way out here. I'm going to completely unfold my plane. And with the side that started face down, I have my paper in this orientation. I want to rotate it, and I'm going to fold this point right here. You can see you've got this horizontal crease, this diagonal crease meeting at the edge. I'm folding that point right there, right to my center crease. You could also view this as landing this edge here along that diagonal crease. And I'm not creasing all the way across. I am just making a little crease from this crease here to the edge. Let me go ahead and make the crease and I'll unfold it, and you'll see I've only creased this little section right here. So if I've got it in that initial starting position, this runs parallel to the center crease from this point to where that horizontal crease intersects the edge. So I'll do the same thing over here. I'm just pulling that point down to the center and making a crease that goes from there out. Okay. And now I'm going to fold this whole top triangle behind again, fold in on each of these, flip the paper over, fold this up, and now instead of folding in like this, I'm going to open the pocket up and fold the edge in. So the pocket itself does not get folded. And now I'm going to once again flip the paper over. And I'm actually going to rotate it now so that this point is facing toward me. And your plane should look like this. And we're going to perform a swivel fold now, which is the most difficult step of this plane. And we're going to start by locating this crease right here and basically opening this pocket along that crease, and make sure it opens all the way to the center. And you're going to swing this forward. And as you do so, your reference is actually going to be what was this edge right here. That becomes a crease that you can refer to, and you want to land that crease along this edge. So I'm pulling this toward myself and looking to line that crease up with the edge. And once I successfully line that crease up like that, I can then press my layers flat there and there. And once you do that on one side, you can do it on the other side as well. So I'm opening this pocket up, just reaching in, pulling toward myself along this existing crease. And I begin to flatten it by pushing that sideways. and then looking to land this crease on the edge. Once I've achieved that, I can flatten all these layers. Just like so. Okay, and now I'm going to rotate it yet again, and I'm going to just pull this tab down along its existing crease. Do the same thing on this side. And I want to tuck these flaps into this pocket. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to kind of open this side up enough, and I'm going to reverse this crease here and that second diagonal crease there. So this crease that's currently vertical for me and the one right next to it both need to be reversed. So I start with this crease right here, and it can help to even like use your hand to pull that pocket open, and you just kind of begin to fold on that crease. Can get a little tricky right there toward the center. Maybe this is the trickiest step, but once you get this crease to reverse, it's really not too bad. You just shove the layers in like so. Gently massage them into place, and it should flatten nicely just like that. And now we'll do the same thing on this side. I'm reversing those same creases. Just like so, and you can see those layers are now inside the pocket. And your plane should look like this. We are now ready to fold our wing creases, and we're looking for, on this side of the paper right here, we're looking for the point where this pocket is intersecting the center crease, and I'm just pulling this layer open straight to that point. And now I want to make my crease go starting from that point down to this point here. Just like so. And now I'll go ahead and do the same thing on the other side, starting my crease up there, aiming for this point down here. Okay, and we'll go ahead and close those up. We're just saving those creases for later. And now I'm going to fold this into the center. I'm looking at this edge, folding into the center just like that. Actually, I'm going to open that up because I want to make a reference point first. So I'm going to fold this top point down to that edge right there. Crease across. And now I'm going to fold this in. Open that back up, fold this in, fold this side in. And now I'm going to open this, and I'm looking for that crease where it hits the center. That's where I'm starting the top portion of this crease, and then I'm aiming for this point right down here and just swinging this back open. And this is going to make the canards of the plane. And then I'll do the same thing over here. Just folding this side to match the first side. So your plane should look like this, but you'll notice the canards have a little pocket on them that we want to get rid of. So I'm going to, now that I have no longer a need for this layer here, I'm going to unfold it like that and swing this whole triangle here in under this triangle. So I'm just reversing this crease right there. Just like that. And now when I fold this in, that out like that, this in and out on my existing creases, everything's nice and aerodynamic at the front, and we can fold our wings out along those existing creases. And now we're actually going to want to make a crease along this remaining layer here that goes right along this edge and this edge. And I'm going to show you how I like to do that. This is going to be a jet fold where we make both of those creases simultaneously. So we're going to flip the paper over and look at it from this side. And make sure that your center crease here is a valley crease. And I want you to grab the plane in each hand and basically reach behind right at this point, right there where the wings are meeting, and you're just going to kind of bend the nose forward and hold it like this and bring the two sides together. And the crease you're going to make, you want to run right along these edges. So as I bring this together, I'm looking under here and I'm lining those up so that my crease is going to be right in the right place. And then I can actually just flatten the whole plane, just like this. And if I unfold that, you can see I've placed a crease right along that edge. Okay, and now make sure that your canards are tucking properly into place. And when you set your plane down, it should look just like this. You'll notice that we have a little extra paper that goes beyond what is going to be the top edge of our cockpit. And I'm just going to fold that behind, going right along the edge of that layer. And once I do that on one side, I'll go ahead and flip the paper over and do it on the other side as well. And now I am ready to go ahead and fold the tail up. And the way I'm going to do that is I start by just kind of reversing a section of this crease here. And once I pinch that in my thumb and forefinger, I can pull on it and you'll see that kind of pulls up in the middle. And controlling the point where it reverses from a valley to a mountain will determine how big your tail is. So you can kind of pull that as far forward as you want, but look at about where I have it. And you want the back edge of your fin to be perpendicular to this edge right there. So you can see again about where mine is and as far as where that spine is, and then line it up about like so. And then once you do that, you can kind of pinch these layers and crease them. Okay, and now we are ready to fold our wings up, just like so. And the canards up, and we'll do this on both sides. And now you can see we pretty much have a finished plane. It just doesn't quite lock together yet. So all we have to do is set the paper in this position, and I'm folding this back edge here up into that section right there. Just like so. And then I'm actually going to fold it a second time as well, folding this edge up in. Right about like that. And that will lock everything together. So now your plane is locked, it looks amazing, and all you have to do is give this a test throw and see if you need a bit of up elevator. If it's diving down, then you may need to bend the back edges of the wings up just slightly, but as always, just test it first and see if you need that at all. So with all of that said, thank you so much for watching this video and good luck flying your plane. Thank you so much to all of my patrons who are supporting this channel and making these videos possible. You can become the pilot of your favorite foldable flight paper airplane, and your name will appear next to the paper airplane you choose in each of my YouTube videos. So head over to patreon.com/foldableflight and join the Foldable Fleet today.